The 80s may have been largely a decade that embraced style over most anything else. But a movie still needs more substance to really stick inside of mine. 1985's Zero Boys, directed by Nico Mastorakis, is undeniably a slick-looking and well-crafted movie. It's filled with loads of interesting sets, gorgeously lit shots, and excellent Hans Zimmer music. You're gonna ask, okay, well what went wrong here then? If that all sounds great, how could this not be that great? Well, before we get to that, we have other things to talk about. Our film starts off with a slightly cool, mostly goofy shootout at a paintball range. It just drops you into the middle of the action. This introduces our heroes, I guess, the Zero Boys, who are really 3 men in their 20s. Take that as you will. Anyway, they win the paintball match by killing their, or I guess headshotting. I don't know, what do you call it in paintball when you shoot somebody? I would say killing. Anyway, they kill their nemesis, Paintball Hitler. After they win, the three set off with their respective girlfriends for a weekend of fun in the woods. Arriving, they discover a screaming woman, a strange cabin, and a field of bones, and other weird and nasty secrets. And it turns out now they're being hunted, and they have to use their weapons, their actual weapons, not their paintballs, and their wits, their actual wits, not the ones they pretend to have, to survive a night of cat and mouse murder. So, Zero Boys, it's Friday the 13th with guns. Sounds cool, right? Yeah. One of the characters even mentions Jason in the movie. Hell, the set is also the ranch from Friday the 13th Part 3. Thankfully, it's not in 3D this time. Yet for all the slasher references and eventual slasher antics that the movie has, Zero Boys doesn't quite embrace any one sort of genre, and that's a problem. It's a goofy action comedy one moment, a torture horror movie the next, and then it's a goofy horror movie with ridiculous scenes like a character using a taser to zap a baddie that's floating out in a pond. Like, how would that work? Okay. So this refusal to embrace one style and one genre is probably the movie's greatest hindrance, and yet it's also its greatest strength given what we are seeing, if that makes sense. In Zero Boys, you can't really settle down and zero in your expectations on what this movie is going to be, and that interferes with your enjoyment. An audience has to know what to expect at least somewhat to really understand what is going on in the film. If I don't like a certain genre of a movie, I want to know it's that genre ahead of time. Does that make sense? I want to know ahead of time if it's going to be a genre I'm not into. Luckily, I don't mind action. It's an okay genre, but it would have been nice to know from the start what I was getting into. It stops the mind from wandering. However, as Zero Boys is not very typical of any one genre, you do get elements from other genres that you may enjoy more. For me, horror. So you're also not bored because the movie just goes in these different directions fairly often. By the time you think you have the movie figured out, it's over though. Done. I didn't feel robbed of my time. No, not at all. It went by pretty fast. But I didn't exactly think it was the greatest thing ever while it zipped by. It's okay. I think Zero Boy's strengths and weaknesses have to do with writer, producer, director, owner, of the Omega studio that made the movie. He's everything. Nico Mastorakis. This is really his movie. He's an independent artist, and it shows in this film. Every aspect of the movie exudes a single definitive style. It's very visually powerful, though. I liked it. But Zero Boys also lacks strength in the character department. It lacks decent dialogue, and it lacks a plot. It's clear that one person was in control, and they were really good at making the movie look good, and that's about it. There may not have been someone else, like a counterpoint in the production staff that could say, let's try this instead, Nico, instead of making everything the same as this that you've been doing before. Let's try something different. You need, not too many chefs, but at least 2, right, to really make something good. Nico the writer may not have had any funny lines here in the movie. In fact, his characters are kind of annoying and off-putting. There's this one that has like this weird stripe in his hair. He's a creep. I don't like him at all. The men basically are all worried about banging these women. They're making creepy and crude comments constantly, and the women are helping the men with the women, or being scared, or being victims. It's boring. Eventually, the girls do pick up the guns too, but they're using them while the men scream at them to use it, use it, use it, while another woman is taking 3 minutes to crawl out of a shoulder-deep hole. It's stupid. It's not girl power at all. And the slashers here, yeah, they're slashers, the villains. They're never explained, never developed. It's almost like, you think it's going to be like a joke or something, like they're going to turn out to be, maybe Paintball Hitler got really mad about getting murdered or whatever in paintball and he's coming back for revenge. No. I'm not spoiling it because there's nothing to spoil. They don't explain who they are. They're just there. Don't expect anything. You'll be better off for it. So they're mysterious until they're not, and then you're left with people like they're not cool when they reveal them, is what I'm trying to say. They're wearing like oversized sweaters and they limp around. It's boring. There's no Jason here, that's for sure. There are lots of strange corpses that appear in the movie, and you wonder like, who is that supposed to be? Never explained. It could have been a nice mysterious touch, but they don't really focus on it. It's just like, oh, that's a dead body. That's scary. Let's go over here now. And there's these moments where the characters are suggested, like I said, something more than a massacre is going on. There's another plot to it. They're being watched. They're being, controlled, but it's surface level. It's about as deep as the pond that the lady uses the zapper to fry the guy in. Sorry, I almost said a bad word. It's stupid. It would have been a great twist to have something else going on to these villains, especially since they introduced some interesting characters in the opening, like I suggested, Paintball Hitler. Why not introduce... You're going to go Hitler. You're going to Hitler level in your movie. You're like, I'm going to make Hitler appear in a paintball scene. That seems pretty tasteless. You don't really want to invoke Hitler unless you're doing like a Schindler's List or something respectful. If you have to show Hitler, show downfall, show his worst day or something. No, they're like, well, let's have Hitler in paintball. That's fun. Anyway... You want something more here, and they never develop it. Oh, well. I guess I should just be happy that there are surprises here and not just non-creativity. It's creative, but it's like, whoa, what were you thinking? Really nice job thinking outside the box there, but was that box, in the Holocaust? Because that's not good stuff coming out of that box. Zero Boys could have been a lot more if it was Nico in charge of production design and photography, or cinematography, if you want to be exact. That would have been good. He's got a really good visual style. The music kicks ass in this movie. The Hans Zimmer theme in this movie is awesome. It sounds like a Top Gun B-side. It's amazing. So let someone else write the characters and the plot and expend the full magazine of an idea that is Friday the 13th with guns. Oh my god, that is such a cool idea. And we almost got it for a little bit there in Jason Goes to Hell, and that was really a cool scene. You know what I'm talking about. I give Zero Boys 3 Paintball Hitlers out of 5. Hey, if he's going to use it, I'm going to use it too, folks. I'm not above, what I complained about. Zero Boys is not quite a 10, yet definitely not a 0. I don't know what it is, but check it out. Holy crap. Oh, man.
All of these things are designed to frighten a monkey.